The human mind, a vast frontier of untapped potential and hidden abilities, has always captivated our imagination. Among its most fascinating capabilities is remote viewing, the ability to perceive distant locations and events beyond our physical senses. What if our minds could transcend the limitations of space and time, uncovering hidden truths? Our journey will trace the roots of remote viewing from ancient whispers to modern scientific investigations, revealing secretive government programs and their intriguing successes. We will also unlock the secrets of remote viewing for you, providing a crash course to empower you to experience this phenomenon yourself. Imagine tapping into a latent power within you, a skill that has been studied, tested, and now can be practiced by anyone with the will to learn. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of remote viewing, expanding your perception and challenging the very nature of what it means to see. Throughout history, whispers of extraordinary abilities have surfaced in legends and myths. Ancient texts from cultures around the world hint at seers and mystics who could perceive events far beyond their immediate surroundings. In ancient Greece, the Oracle of Delphi was believed to access hidden knowledge through divine visions, offering prophecies to those who sought her counsel. The oracle's cryptic messages often influenced critical decisions, from battles to political alliances. Egyptian priests reportedly used scrying techniques, such as gazing into water, mirrors, or crystal balls, to gain insights into distant realms. These practices were not just confined to the elite, but were part of religious rituals that aimed to connect with the divine. In ancient India, yogis practiced advanced forms of meditation to achieve states of consciousness that purportedly allowed them to perceive distant places and events. The Hindu scriptures, such as the Mahabharata, recount tales of sages who could see beyond the physical plane. Chinese records from the Han Dynasty mention shamans who could describe events happening miles away. These shamans, known as Wu, were believed to enter trances that allowed their spirits to travel across vast distances. Their abilities were often sought by emperors and generals to gain strategic advantages in warfare and governance. These ancient accounts, scattered across different cultures and epochs, reinforce the idea that the concept of remote viewing has deep, ancient roots. As we step into the 20th century, the modern world's fascination with the paranormal began to flourish. This era saw a surge in interest in psychic phenomena, driven by the burgeoning field of parapsychology. Notable figures such as J.B. Rhine at Duke University conducted groundbreaking experiments in extrasensory perception, ESP. Rhine's experiments, starting in the 1930s, involved Xena cards, where participants attempted to predict symbols on cards hidden from their view. These cards bore 5 distinct symbols: a star, a cross, wavy lines, a square, and a circle. Rhine's methodology was meticulous. Participants would attempt to guess the symbols on the cards, and their success rates were statistically analyzed to determine if they exceeded chance levels. Over the years, thousands of trials were conducted, and some participants consistently scored higher than chance, suggesting the possibility of ESP. Rhine published his findings in books such as Extrasensory Perception, 1934, and New Frontiers of the Mind, 1937, sparking both interest and controversy. Skeptics challenged his methods and results, but Rhine's work laid the groundwork for further scientific inquiries into psychic phenomena. In the early 1970s, the spotlight turned to the Stanford Research Institute, SRI, where physicists Russell Targ and Harold Puthoff embarked on a series of experiments that would shape our understanding of remote viewing. The SRI experiments were more ambitious and controlled compared to earlier efforts. Targ and Puthoff sought to investigate whether individuals could accurately describe remote locations or objects without any prior knowledge or sensory input. One of their key subjects, Ingo Swann, was instrumental in developing the protocols for remote viewing. Swann's sessions involved him sitting in a relaxed state, attempting to see a target location or object that was unknown to him, but known to the researchers. His descriptions were recorded and later compared to the actual targets. In one notable experiment, Swann accurately described the rings around Jupiter before they were confirmed by the Pioneer 10 spacecraft. Pat Price, another prominent remote viewer, provided detailed sketches of Soviet military installations. Price's descriptions were so precise that they reportedly matched classified satellite imagery. These successes captured the attention of the US government, leading to the establishment of Project Stargate, a top-secret program aimed at exploring and utilizing remote viewing for intelligence purposes. The methodologies at SRI involved strict protocols to minimize bias and ensure the validity of the results. Remote viewers were given coordinates or simple prompts, and their task was to describe what they saw at the target location. These sessions were often double-blind, meaning neither the viewer nor the experimenter knew the target in advance, ensuring that any accurate information obtained was not the result of subtle cues or prior knowledge. The findings from SRI were met with a mixture of skepticism and fascination. Mainstream scientists questioned the validity of the results, pointing to the lack of a plausible mechanism for remote viewing. However, the documented successes could not be easily dismissed, leading to continued interest and funding from intelligence agencies. Books such as Mind Reach: Scientists Look at Psychic Abilities by Targ and Puthoff helped bring their research to a wider audience, sparking debates in both scientific and public circles. These early experiments, shrouded in secrecy and skepticism, hinted at the profound and untapped capabilities of the human mind. As whispers of these extraordinary abilities spread, a sense of wonder and intrigue enveloped those who dared to explore this frontier, leaving the world to ponder the true extent of our hidden potential. In the shadowy depths of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a relentless struggle for dominance. Each side sought any edge, no matter how unconventional, to outmaneuver the other. Amidst this backdrop of intense rivalry, the US government began to explore the potential of psychic abilities for intelligence purposes. It was during this period of heightened paranoia and competition that the US government's interest in remote viewing took root. Declassified documents revealed that the CIA and other intelligence agencies were intrigued by reports of Soviet advancements in psychic research. Fearful of falling behind, they initiated their own investigations into the mysterious realm of the mind. The Stanford Research Institute, SRI, already at the forefront of pioneering research into psychic phenomena, quickly became the epicenter of the US government's interest in remote viewing. Recognizing the potential of the work being done by physicists Russell Targ and Harold Puthoff, the CIA and the Department of Defense provided substantial funding to accelerate and expand these efforts. With the influx of government grants, SRI's program aimed to scientifically validate and harness the power of remote viewing. Targ and Puthoff, now bolstered by federal support, continued their groundbreaking experiments with gifted individuals who demonstrated extraordinary perceptual abilities. Ingo Swann, already known for his groundbreaking contributions to remote viewing, continued his work under the auspices of the government. His abilities, which had previously captured the attention of scientists at SRI, now played a crucial role in intelligence operations. Swann's sessions often involved highly classified targets, and his uncanny accuracy became a valuable asset. For instance, his detailed remote viewing sessions of Soviet military sites provided intelligence that was later verified by other means, further cementing his reputation and the legitimacy of the program. Pat Price, whose earlier work had impressed both the scientific community and intelligence agencies, took on even more critical assignments. As a former police officer with a sharp eye for detail, Price's remote viewing sessions were tasked with uncovering deeply hidden Soviet installations. His sketches of these secret facilities, including missile silos and underground bunkers, were so precise that they often matched satellite imagery. These successes demonstrated the tangible benefits of remote viewing in intelligence gathering, showcasing its potential to reveal information that was otherwise inaccessible. These individuals, along with others, continued to push the boundaries of what remote viewing could achieve. Their work, often shrouded in secrecy, provided glimpses into the extraordinary capabilities of the human mind and its potential applications in the shadowy world of espionage. The government's investment in these talents highlighted the serious consideration given to remote viewing as a tool for national security, despite the ongoing debates and skepticism within the broader scientific community. These early experiments, shrouded in secrecy and skepticism, hinted at the profound and untapped capabilities of the human mind. As whispers of these extraordinary abilities spread, a sense of wonder and intrigue enveloped those who dared to explore this frontier, leaving the world to ponder the true extent of our hidden potential. The shadowy world of remote viewing and psychic phenomena took an even stranger turn with the revelations detailed in Jon Ronson's book, The Men Who Stare at Goats. This compelling narrative delves into the US military's exploration of paranormal abilities, revealing a bizarre and often bewildering chapter in the history of intelligence operations. The Men Who Stare at Goats uncovers the origins of the 1st Earth Battalion, an experimental military unit founded in the late 1970s by Lieutenant Colonel Jim Channon. Channon envisioned a new breed of soldier, one who could harness psychic abilities to achieve remarkable feats on the battlefield. The unit's training included practices such as invisibility, telepathy, and even the ability to kill a goat simply by staring at it, a testament to the extent of their unconventional methods. One of the most notorious projects detailed in Ronson's book is Project Stargate. This top-secret program, initiated by the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, and later managed by the CIA, sought to train and deploy remote viewers for intelligence gathering. The project's ambitions were vast: to locate hostages, track enemy movements, and uncover hidden threats through the power of the mind. Among the successes attributed to Project Stargate were instances where remote viewers provided crucial information that traditional intelligence methods had failed to uncover. For example, remote viewers reportedly identified the location of a downed Soviet bomber in Africa and provided details on the whereabouts of American hostages in Iran. These high-profile successes lent credibility to the program and ensured continued funding. However, the journey was fraught with challenges and failures. Not all remote viewing sessions yielded actionable intelligence, and some led to wild goose chases that wasted time and resources. Skeptics within the intelligence community remained unconvinced, arguing that the successes were coincidental and lacked scientific rigor. The lack of a clear, reproducible method for remote viewing further fueled the debate over its legitimacy. Despite these controversies, the persistence of key figures like Major General Albert Stubblebine and Colonel John Alexander kept the program alive for years. Stubblebine, a fervent believer in the potential of psychic abilities, pushed for more extensive training and experimentation. His enthusiasm, however, often clashed with the skepticism of his peers, leading to a constant battle for acceptance within the military hierarchy. For decades, the existence of these programs was shrouded in secrecy. Government agencies denied their involvement, and the details of these experiments remained classified. It wasn't until the 1990s that the veil began to lift. As documents were declassified and former participants spoke out, the public became aware of the extraordinary efforts to harness the unexplained. The Men Who Stare at Goats paints a vivid picture of this peculiar intersection of military ambition and paranormal research. It highlights both the tantalizing possibilities and the frustrating limitations of using psychic abilities for intelligence purposes. The story serves as a reminder of the lengths to which governments will go in their quest for an advantage, exploring the outermost fringes of human potential and the mysteries of the mind. These revelations, blending success with skepticism, open a window into the strange and often surreal efforts to harness the unexplained, leaving us to wonder about the true capabilities hidden within the human psyche. As the United States delved into the realm of remote viewing, whispers of similar programs began to emerge from other corners of the globe. The Soviet Union, in particular, became a focal point of intrigue and speculation. Reports surfaced that the Soviets were not only aware of American efforts, but had been conducting their own experiments in psychic phenomena for years. The Soviet interest in remote viewing, or psychotronics as they called it, was driven by both scientific curiosity and the strategic desire to outmaneuver their Cold War adversaries. Soviet researchers, working under the cloak of secrecy, explored a wide array of paranormal phenomena including telepathy, psychokinesis, and remote viewing. Institutes such as the All-Union Scientific Research Institute of Experimental Medicine and the Institute of Automation and Electrometry became the epicenters of these studies. One notable Soviet figure was Dr. Sergei P. Voronin, a parapsychologist who claimed to have achieved significant results in remote viewing experiments. Voronin's subjects were said to have accurately described distant locations and events, much like their counterparts in the West. The methodologies employed by the Soviets often involved isolating the remote viewer in a controlled environment, shielding them from any external sensory input, and providing them with minimal information about the target. China, too, entered the realm of psychic research with a fervent intensity. The Chinese government, recognizing the potential strategic benefits, invested in extensive studies of psychic phenomena. Chinese researchers focused on developing techniques that could be used for military and intelligence purposes, mirroring the efforts of both the United States and the Soviet Union. In one documented instance, Chinese remote viewers reportedly identified the location of a hidden underground nuclear facility. This revelation, if true, demonstrated the potential of remote viewing to uncover critical intelligence that conventional methods might miss. Chinese methodologies often combined traditional Chinese practices, such as meditation and Qigong, with modern parapsychological techniques, creating a unique fusion of ancient wisdom and contemporary science. Comparing the methodologies and results of these nations reveals both similarities and differences. While the fundamental concept of remote viewing remained consistent, each country brought its own cultural and scientific approaches to the table. The Soviets, for instance, placed a strong emphasis on rigorous scientific protocols and skepticism, whereas the Chinese integrated their rich heritage of mysticism and spiritual practices into their research. Despite the varied approaches, the results reported by these programs were strikingly similar. Instances of accurate descriptions of distant targets, successful identification of hidden objects, and actionable intelligence provided by remote viewers emerged from all three nations. These successes, although often shrouded in secrecy and skepticism, suggested that remote viewing was not merely a Western curiosity, but a global phenomenon with far-reaching implications. The clandestine nature of these programs meant that much of the information remained classified for decades. It was only through the gradual declassification of documents and the courage of whistleblowers that the full extent of these international efforts came to light. The revelations of Soviet and Chinese experiments in remote viewing added another layer of mystery and intrigue to the already complex tapestry of psychic research. These international efforts, coupled with the American experiences, paint a picture of a world where the boundaries of the mind are continually tested and expanded. The pursuit of remote viewing, driven by both scientific inquiry and strategic necessity, underscores the universal fascination with the unknown capabilities of the human psyche. Today, the US government claims to have ceased its official research into psychic phenomena. Project Stargate was officially terminated in 1995, with the conclusion that remote viewing had not provided sufficient actionable intelligence. However, many believe that the cessation was merely a cover, and that the program has continued in secrecy, much like it did for so many decades. Notable figures, such as former remote viewers Ingo Swann and Joseph McMonigle, have suggested that these programs never truly ended. Dr. Hal Puthoff, who was instrumental in the initial remote viewing research, has also hinted at ongoing undisclosed activities. Additionally, investigative journalists like John Ronson, who brought much of this hidden history to light, have raised questions about the transparency of the government's claims. The persistent rumors and the historical precedent of secrecy leave us pondering, have these extraordinary investigations into the human mind truly concluded, or do they continue in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to emerge once more? The quest to understand and harness the hidden potential of the mind remains as tantalizing and mysterious as ever. Transitioning from the historical recounting of remote viewing, we now delve into the heart of the mystery. How is it possible to see beyond physical limitations? To uncover the secrets behind this extraordinary phenomenon, we must explore the various scientific and parapsychological theories that attempt to explain remote viewing. At the forefront of scientific explanations is the theory of non-locality, a concept derived from quantum physics. Non-locality suggests that particles can be interconnected across vast distances, influencing each other instantaneously. This phenomenon, known as quantum entanglement, leads some researchers to propose that the human mind might operate in a similar fashion, accessing a universal field of information that transcends space and time. Dr. Hal Puthoff, a pioneering figure in remote viewing research, has suggested that remote viewing could be a form of quantum entanglement involving human consciousness. According to this theory, our minds might be linked to a greater network of information, allowing us to perceive distant locations and events. This idea challenges the conventional understanding of reality, proposing that our consciousness is not confined to our physical brains, but is part of a larger, interconnected web of information. Another scientific perspective comes from the field of consciousness studies. Researchers like Dr. Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences have conducted experiments that explore the effects of focused intention and the potential for consciousness to influence physical reality. Radin's work suggests that consciousness itself might be a fundamental aspect of the universe, intertwined with the fabric of reality in ways that we are only beginning to understand. Dr. Radin's research includes a variety of experiments aimed at testing the boundaries of human consciousness. One notable study involved the use of a random number generator, RNG, a device that produces a sequence of numbers that are completely unpredictable. Radin and his team discovered that the output of the RNG could be influenced by the focused intentions of individuals, suggesting that the mind might have the ability to affect physical systems in subtle but measurable ways. Another experiment involved participants predicting the outcome of future events at a rate significantly higher than chance, providing further evidence of precognition. In addition to his laboratory research, Radin has extensively studied the historical and cross-cultural aspects of psychic phenomena, arguing that these abilities have been recognized and utilized in various forms across different societies and eras. His work often intersects with the concepts of collective consciousness and the idea that our individual minds might be part of a greater shared mental landscape. From a parapsychological standpoint, the study of remote viewing and other psychic phenomena faces significant challenges in gaining mainstream acceptance. Parapsychologists often find themselves at odds with the broader scientific community, which demands rigorous empirical evidence and reproducibility. Critics argue that many parapsychological experiments lack the necessary controls to rule out bias and error, leading to skepticism about their findings. Despite these challenges, parapsychologists continue to explore the potential of the human mind. Dr. Charles Tart, a prominent figure in the field, has conducted extensive research into altered states of consciousness and their relationship to psychic phenomena. Tart's work suggests that our ordinary waking state is just one of many possible states of consciousness, each with its own unique capabilities and perceptions. This perspective aligns with ancient practices and spiritual traditions, which have long taught that heightened states of consciousness can unlock hidden potentials. Tart's experiments have included studying the brainwave patterns of individuals in deep meditative states, revealing that different states of consciousness are associated with distinct physiological changes. These findings support the notion that the mind can access different levels of awareness, each with its own set of abilities. Tart's work also explores the concept of psychic dreaming, where individuals report receiving information about future events or distant locations while in a dream state. The journey to explain remote viewing is fraught with challenges and skepticism, but it also opens doors to new possibilities. The theories we encounter, whether grounded in quantum physics or parapsychology, push the boundaries of what we know about the mind and its potential. They invite us to reconsider our assumptions about reality and explore the deeper, hidden aspects of our consciousness. Despite these fascinating theories, skepticism remains prevalent within the scientific community. Critics argue that many studies on remote viewing lack rigorous methodological controls, making it difficult to rule out chance or bias. The challenge of reproducing results consistently under controlled conditions further fuels the debate. Skeptics demand more empirical evidence and argue that extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. A central figure in this debate is Dr. Dean Radin, whose work at the Institute of Noetic Sciences has shown statistical significance in psychic phenomena. Radin's meta-analyses of ESP experiments, which compiled data from hundreds of studies, have consistently shown statistically significant results. For instance, in studies involving telepathy, participants guessed the correct target image more frequently than would be expected by chance alone. These hits are not perfect predictions, but they occur often enough to indicate a pattern that cannot be easily dismissed as coincidence. Despite the statistical significance of Radin's findings, the scientific community remains largely unconvinced. The primary obstacle is the lack of a clear physical mechanism to explain how such phenomena could occur. Mainstream science relies on reproducibility and empirical evidence grounded in well-understood principles, and psychic phenomena challenge these foundations. Critics argue that without a tangible explanation, such as a known force or process, the results remain in the realm of speculation. Moreover, the historical association of psychic phenomena with pseudoscience and the supernatural compounds the skepticism. The scientific method, which demands repeatability and falsifiability, has difficulty accommodating phenomena that elude consistent measurement and replication. The stigma associated with parapsychology further alienates it from mainstream scientific inquiry. Nevertheless, the persistence of researchers like Puthoff, Radin, and Tart continues to push the boundaries of our understanding. Their work invites us to question the limitations of our current scientific paradigms and consider the possibility that the human mind is capable of far more than we realize. Radin's research, in particular, suggests that while individuals are not perfectly clairvoyant, they exhibit psi abilities at rates that defy conventional statistical explanations. The exploration of remote viewing's mechanics leads us to a profound crossroads where science, consciousness, and the unknown intersect. Whether viewed through the lens of quantum physics or ancient spiritual practices, the pursuit of understanding this phenomenon challenges us to expand our perceptions and explore the hidden depths of the human mind. The mysteries of remote viewing beckon us to look beyond the surface of reality and consider the vast interconnected web that might lie beneath. Venturing into the practical realm of remote viewing involves a series of structured steps designed to help you tap into your latent psychic abilities. Whether approached with skepticism or curiosity, the methods of remote viewing have been refined over decades, offering a structured pathway for those who dare to explore the unknown. To begin, creating a quiet and comfortable space is essential. Find a place where you won't be disturbed, turn off electronic devices, and eliminate potential distractions. The mind must be calm and focused, ready to transcend the limitations of the physical senses. Meditation is often used to achieve this state. Close your eyes and take deep breaths, allowing your mind to quiet and your body to relax. Visualize a serene place, a sanctuary within your mind where you can find stillness and clarity. Guided imagery and creative visualization can further aid in reaching a deeper state of relaxation. Affirmations such as, "I am open to receiving information," and "all my senses are alert and ready," can help maintain focus and prevent the mind from wandering. Once you are in a meditative state, the next step is to set a target. In traditional remote viewing, the target is often a random, unknown location identified by a set of coordinates. These coordinates, or target reference numbers, are meaningless to the viewer, but serve as a focus for the mind's eye. If you do not have specific coordinates, choose a target that is unknown to you but verifiable, such as a specific location, object, or event that someone else can confirm later. With the target set, focus your mind on it. Allow impressions to come naturally, without forcing or analyzing them. Remote viewing is less about seeing with the eyes and more about perceiving with the mind. Pay attention to any images, feelings, or sensations that arise. Be cautious of analytical overlay, where the conscious mind tries to make sense of impressions too quickly. For instance, if you perceive something cold and red, avoid jumping to conclusions like an apple immediately. Instead, it's best to initially let impressions come and go without attaching them to specific objects or features. Conclusions should be left for the final step. As you receive impressions, record them immediately. Use a pen and paper to sketch images, write down words, or note any sensory details that come to mind. Start by noting basic sensory impressions like colors, shapes, textures, sounds, and temperatures. This could include descriptors like cold, red, rough, or metallic. Next, make a quick sketch focusing on fundamental elements such as land, water, structures, and any significant shapes. Use simple symbols to represent these elements. Write down any keywords that come to mind. These might be single words or short phrases that capture your impressions. An effective technique to enhance your remote viewing session is to imagine looking at the target from above and draw an overhead sketch. This aerial perspective helps in visualizing the spatial arrangement of elements. Changing your mental viewpoint by adopting this bird's-eye view can help avoid analytical overlays, as it allows you to perceive new characteristics and details that might not be evident from a ground-level perspective. This shift in perspective can help in breaking the pattern of preconceived notions, enabling a clearer and more accurate capture of the target's essence. Once the initial sketches and notes are made, proceed to a more detailed sketch. Incorporate all the sensory information and spatial data gathered during the session into this final drawing. This comprehensive approach ensures that you capture the full essence of the target, integrating the various impressions you have received. After completing your session, compare your recorded impressions and sketches with the actual target details. Look for matches and patterns that validate your remote viewing. This verification process is essential for understanding and improving your remote viewing abilities. Note any discrepancies and consider what might have caused them. Regular practice and feedback loops will enhance your accuracy and proficiency. Maintaining an open mind is crucial for success in remote viewing. Skepticism can hinder the process, so approach each session with an open, inquisitive mindset. Practice regularly, as consistent sessions help refine your abilities and increase accuracy. Ensure you are relaxed and comfortable before beginning each session, as tension and stress can block perceptions. Avoid overthinking and let impressions flow naturally without trying to force specific images or answers. Analyzing impressions while receiving them can interfere with the flow of information, so save analysis for after the session. Remember, remote viewing is not just about discovering hidden information, but also about uncovering the hidden depths of your own consciousness. Embarking on the practice of remote viewing is a journey into the unknown, where the boundaries of perception expand and the mysteries of the mind unfold. Each session offers a glimpse into the extraordinary capabilities that lie within. As our journey into the realm of remote viewing draws to a close, we are left to ponder its profound potential. Remote viewing has demonstrated that the human mind may possess capabilities far beyond what we currently understand. From ancient seers to modern scientific studies, the glimpses we've seen suggest untapped abilities that challenge the very fabric of our perception. The successes in remote viewing hint at a vast, interconnected consciousness that invites us to explore further. Imagine what future discoveries await if we continue to unlock the secrets of the mind. Could remote viewing one day become a reliable tool for understanding the universe? the mysteries remain, beckoning us to look deeper, to question, and to wonder about the extraordinary possibilities that lie within the human mind. The future of remote viewing research holds the promise of unveiling even greater truths, pushing the boundaries of what we know and transforming our understanding of reality. The journey is just beginning, and the possibilities are as limitless as the human mind itself.